When it comes to being a young man making money, it's more important not to focus on the money, but the system that gets him the money. Recently asked on a podcast they said,
Justin, what should I do to get my first 100 grand?
My friend, that is the wrong question. The right question is, how can I build a system that will spit me out 100 grand a month? And so for me personally, when I was a young man, I was always thinking in that way. It's like, man, if I could just get $10,000 saved up, and then Nick Saban would call it the process. So really, if a young man is trying to get to money, he needs to get to 30,000 feet and be able to look at that business and all the pieces and parts that make that system work in order to spit out the result, because the money is just simply the result of something that's previously been done. So that's what I'll tell a young man, is to focus on learning how to build systems, and that will pay you no matter what you do.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them, because I want to wake up every single day and get pushed by somebody who's doing a lot more than me. And in watching their videos, it inspires me to be bolder, to have more courage, and to go chase down the life of my dreams. And I hope it does the same for you. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Justin Waller, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is grow your income.
When it comes to debt, if you have a decent interest rate and it's just not absolutely killing you, which I advise that everybody take a hard look at anything they sign in regards to debt and interest, making sure that you're not going to have a snowball where you can't control it and it just consumes you and eats you alive. I'm a big proponent of out-earning any debt that you have. That's a good thing, because if you think you can offset it by cooking instead of going out to a restaurant, then you need to focus on income. I don't think I've ever said this online, but if you can't create income to the point where you don't have to look at what you're swiping your card for, you need to keep working on income. And then when you get to the point where you're making that kind of money, the only saving you're going to be concerned with is how much tax you're going to pay. That's it. So get there. That's the goal. Anybody that thinks they're going to cook or save their way, you need to out-earn this situation. And if you're paying attention, you're working hard, I think you can probably do that. You can certainly outpace worrying about going to a restaurant versus cooking in and worrying about rent and commuting. Those are small problems. So go get some big income and get some better problems.
Rule number 3 is envision your ideal self.
I like to daydream about the man I'm going to become. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hate does not work for me very well. And if it does, it's like super short and fleeting, right? It's very short. I mean, not even really long enough to use it for like even a real task. I might get mad for a second. It just doesn't help me as much. But bro, like thinking about like one day I'm gonna pull up with a bad bitch in a Lambo, Miami, flip them the keys, I'm sitting at lunch and like, dude,
come on,
I gotta leave the date to take pictures and
I'm saying
big G. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So thinking about the man you're gonna become.
Rule number 4 is develop a positive mindset.
Every time I try to get ahead in life, I always fail. I feel like I'm destined to be a loser.
Gotta quit talking like that, man. In regards to what you're saying, man, you need to watch how you talk to yourself. You'll never get out of that spell unless you start flipping things to the positive. One of the most important muscles I feel like anybody could ever build in their life is the muscle of flipping things to the positive. No matter what happens to you, you have to find a way. Flat tire on the side of the road, man, perfect. I'm behind on my push-ups. Let me get 200 push-ups in and then change the tire. I don't have to work out for the day. You get a bad break and lose a client or whatever, good. Now we can amplify the marketing. I lost my Instagram. My Instagram's been gone for a while. So we blew up Twitter. We must have picked up 50,000 followers on Twitter by putting our reels on Twitter. You have to find a way to flip it. So now when I get my Instagram back, I'll be in a position where now I have 2 strong platforms instead of 1. And by the way, the whole time, the guys that were hacking my account and still hacking my account are sending me messages, laughing, blah, 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 ha, 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 send me money. They're trying to extort me for money, right? But instead of getting angry, I'm like, no, that's cool, take it. Instagram, we'll go to Twitter. And that's what we did. And by the time we get the Instagram back, it will be that much stronger on another platform. So you have to flip it to the positive, man. You're not destined for bad luck. You're in your own head in a negative way, and that's got to stop. I always say you got 2 voices. The little voice is real strong right now. So what you need to do is make the grown-ass man voice come in with so much confidence and conviction that it smothers any doubt, and that'll kill the small voice. Start working on that. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself and know that you're a winner. And the more that you can flip that mindset and turn everything to the positive, just find a way to make it positive for you. Make sure you win no matter what. You'll be fine, man. A couple months and that muscle will be built into you. You won't be able to help it but win.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is build rapport.
When you're building rapport with people, especially important people that have done well, a lot of times the last thing they want to do is talk about money or business. In fact, when I'm at an event like that with a bunch of millionaires or a bunch of people that have done quite well, I am purposely trying to talk to them about everything but business. So golf would have been an absolutely incredible segue for them to get to know you, for you to get to know about them, for you to ask questions about their life, for you to ask questions about their golf game, for you to laugh with them about golf, to share common interests or common challenges in golf around a slice or a hook or whatever the golf guys talk about, right? You had that common ground right there. And most importantly, that common ground wasn't business, because the last thing I'm trying to do when I'm trying to build a rapport with someone is make them feel like I'm trying to make money from my relationship with them. Because people do business with their friends, not people that they feel like want to take from them. So you had this perfect opportunity right there, and you just didn't know it, right?
Yeah.
You could have talked to them about golf, and it would have been the best thing you could have done, because then they would have asked you, hey, young man, what do you do? After laughing about a slice or a hook. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes total sense, because I talked to a few people, and like the one good conversation I had, it was related to golf.
Right. Not surprised, my friend. And it had nothing to do with business, because there was a common interest there that you can find. And so if you're ever in a situation where you don't have that obvious common interest, asking a couple of baseline questions about that person and their life and things they enjoy to do will quickly get you in a place where you can talk about anything but business, but build solid rapport with an individual, whether that be politics or your views on, I don't know, climate change, whatever it is. You're going to quickly be able to tell what is going to resonate with them. And people like to be around people that they feel are like them. So you using golf would have been the ideal thing to do in that situation. But in the next time you're in that situation, let's say you're at a war room event. Congratulations, by the way. Welcome to the family. Next time you're at an event and you're standing there with someone and you know they have a high net worth, or you know that they've done quite well, or there's something, about them that makes you want to build more rapport with them, I would advise that you talk to them about anything but business. Hey man, I like your jacket. And then get into a conversation about a tailor or what colors go with certain skin tones. You'll know it. You'll see it in their face. They'll light up. Their tone will change with you when you've struck something that they're passionate about. And if you can find a subject that someone's passionate about, and this is not that hard, and you both can have the same passion and the same direction of energy about how you feel around said subject, it's hard not to create a connection with someone. And one thing I will tell you about people that make a lot of money or high net worth people, et cetera, they are very used to having people only want to befriend them because of that high net worth status.
Rule number 6 is diversify.
I always say, man, it's like you get to choose your problems in life.
Yeah.
No matter whether you're doing well, you're doing not. And that's my kind of problem.
That's the kind of problem. What do I do with all this money?
Yeah. Like,
you have a goal for that?
No, I don't, man. You know what my main goal right now is? Being impenetrable. And what I mean by that is like layer on layer on layer on layer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really pay attention to how many income streams I have.
Yeah.
And how strong they are.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think about the most, because I really shove all my money into these assets. Like I flipped $250,000 just the other day.
Come on.
Into one of these mobile home park deals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't keep money. Money comes down. Don't get me wrong, I spend money.
Yeah.
But I'm pushing so much, like big chunks of money into real estate, or into crypto, or in like just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it. Like I don't look at my bank account and see the number of digits there and like get excited about it. I'm like, man, I need to get this down.
Yeah, you're too much.
I need to put this somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta plant the seed, because like what is going to be on your time is going to be what is on your side is time.
Yeah.
Like if I put this much money in a deal at 36, 37 years old, by the time I'm 56, bro.
Yeah.
Just that one deal.
I think about that shit all the time.
All the time, man. It's like, and it gives me peace of mind too.
Yeah.
You know, like I might go to dinner and blow a G,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I know every one of those properties, those people getting up and go to work for me and my future every day.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's in my head. How I look at it, you know, it's like how many layers, and I look at every property as just one more layer, one more layer, one more layer, and so I feel, you know, like it's a fortress.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and people say this, and I say this all the time, but there's a huge difference between being a rich guy and a wealthy guy, because wealth can't be destructed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want my where it's like I can't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been investing in like with Edward Jones since I was like 24 also.
Okay.
Just $500 a month. And I think you actually have a better play than me on this, but just as an example, it's like money I invest, I don't even think about it. It just drafts out my account, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like setting up those things where I don't even have to be disciplined. You know, we're talking about like ways around discipline. It's already coming out.
Rule number 7 is feed your mind.
We are in some sort of web of things that happen and work, and we need to kind of like what you were saying of taking a high level view of everything and being able to see all of those connections and then make different decisions. To me, that's what it means to break out of the matrix.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with you completely. So the real answer is freedom always. And one thing you have to do yourself, one of the biggest parts about getting out the matrix is actually to free your own mind. Because if you don't free your own mind first, you'll never be able to create the financial freedom. You'll never be able to get out of the rat race trap of how poor people or trapped people think. So you have to first free your own mind, take the pill. And that takes some digesting, by the way. It's not just pop the pill and then, oh, you're good. It's going to take time to like unpack a lot of old beliefs you had, thinking poorly, like thinking that money can't flow to you abundantly, thinking it takes money to make money, thinking that, you know, only rich people can live a certain life. Like you have to unpack a lot of these things.
Rule number 8 is choose the right network.
A lot of times there's people who believe that you should just be friends with people just because you know them from work or because they're family or whatever. In fact, I'll tell you a little story. I had a guy one time, he was telling me about his brother. He said, man, you know, my brother only wants to be friends with people that he thinks he can make money with. And he said it in a very derogatory way. And so I asked him, I said, hey man, you know, what's the problem with your brother wanting to make money with people that he's friends with and not being friends with people that he can't? Not that he's rude to him or anything. He just decides to spend time and invest in people that can help him along in his life. And he's like, oh, you know, it's selfish or whatever. I can't even remember what he said. And I told him, I said, what kind of friend are you? What kind of friend am I to you? And what kind of friend are you to me that if I don't care about you so much that I actually want to see you be a good husband, a good father, create abundance in the life of your family, have everything you've ever wanted, which a lot of times takes money. What kind of friend am I if I'm not pushing you to climb, and become a better person? So first, I just want to talk about why it's important to have a good network, because if your network of friends are valuable and you can make money together, then you actually have a friendship that can give you the results that you need in life. And if I care about you, I want to see you do all those things. The next reason you really need to have a good network is you want people who have big problems and big competencies. And it's often good if those competencies are kind of spread out. So you have one friend that does one thing, one friend that does this, one friend that does the other thing, but they're massively good at what they do on an everyday basis. This allows you to have more diversity in things that you're able to get done. Finally, when you're looking at a network, you have to understand that you need people that understand big problems. I talk about this in other videos, but what you want to do, because you're never going to get rid of problems, you're either going to not be able to pay your light bill, or you're going to have a really big payroll, or you're not going to be able to pay your light bill, or your oil change to get a very expensive car taken care of is going to be substantially higher. But no matter what you do, you're going to have problems, so you have to choose them. You need people in your life that understand what it means to have big problems. So number one, they can support you. Number two, they don't look down on you for the problem. They don't feel like you're rubbing it in their face. You need people that understand you, because the higher your problems get, the more you can often feel alone. So it's very, very important to create a network of people that can understand your problems. And then I also want to cover what it takes to create a network of people. If you don't yet have large problems or friends with large problems, you need to go seek those people out. Whether that's joining groups in your industry, or whether that's joining certain types of men's groups or business groups, you can find these people at events, at seminars, you can find them online, but it's very important to find those people. And most of the time you want to reach up a little bit if you can, but at a very, very, very minimum, at least go laterally. And when you're just starting out, I would almost always recommend that you go up.
Rule number 9 is invest in stocks.
Do you invest in stocks?
I've been investing $500 a month since I was like 26. Yeah.
Just what, into an index fund or something like that?
Yeah, I don't even look at it. I just get it auto drafts up my account.
That should be the way it is.
Yeah.
Just off it goes. Always goes.
Yes, sir. I completely
don't need
agree.
to look at it.
Because like ultimately it's kind of gambling. And there's more lies told in an Excel spreadsheet from companies than any other place in the world. And if I get a 5% return and hedge inflation, it's just an insurance policy.
I call it my safety net.
Yeah,
That's all it
absolutely. Like there's no way that I'm going to look at putting money into the stock market and think on any planet that I can't go start a business tomorrow and out earn it in a few months. There's no way, because I know what I can do and I don't even have control over those companies, right? That's a long-term play. It's an insurance fund. It's a safety net. 100%. I think it's something that young men should do immediately because of the way the interest compounds.
Absolutely.
The younger, the better. Even if it's $100 a month, I think somebody should do it.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is work hard.
How much time should be used every day to becoming successful? I hear a mix of work-life balance and working basically 24/7. What would you recommend for a junior in high school?
The thought of work-life balance is actually bullshit. If you start to get positive momentum towards anything in life, let's say you want to play the trumpet and you don't like music, but if you start to get good at the trumpet and people start to give you positive reinforcement, or you start to feel like you're gaining progress at the trumpet or said thing, then you yourself will start to want to build upon that momentum. And so the reason that I would tell you that I enjoy working 24 hours a day, or from the second I wake up to the second I go to bed, it's all work, 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 because it's this positive thing I've built in my life. So what I would advise you to do is I would daydream about the man you want to become and get super, super, super excited about him. Start thinking about the life he's going to live, and that if you just work right now, and how awesome you are being a junior in high school making real money. And the more you start to build that identity of that young entrepreneur that people are like, damn, the kid's only in high school. Damn, he's young. Damn, now he's 18. He was making money when he was a junior in high school. The next thing you know, it becomes your identity. For that reason, it's no longer work. It's now fun to use. It's fun to me to study economics. It's fun to me to read a book about building a business. Not because of anything other than the fact that I already have that momentum in my identity, and what people look up to me and admire me for is said thing. So if I were you, I would understand that most of the time people that are saying you need life-work balance are people that have already given up. If you truly want to be successful in life and do well financially and do well with who you are as a man, then work on the things and create enough positive momentum in fitness, business, being well-spoken, dressing well, all those things, and then you'll get obsessed with being that high-level type man, and then it'll become more fun to you than it is work.
I just wonder, how could I more efficiently make successful people know that I'm a competent person, and I can just stand out to them and make them think, this is a good guy to have around.
If I think back to what I did when I was younger, I really listened a whole lot more than I spoke. I would focus on asking intelligent questions. You're going to be sitting at a table, probably with a multimillionaire at some point at a war room event. And what I think is really important is going to be strong handshake, eye contact, being very present, put my phone face down, and I'd ask them questions. It's really not rocket science as much as it is intention, being present, and still being confident in yourself while you're asking those questions. Is understand where you are in the food chain, be okay with it, be inspired by it, and I don't think you'll have any problems at all. You're not going to meet a successful guy in the war room that is going to see you openly trying to learn about him, trying to be humble, being completely present, and knowing where you stand stand and have him not be pulling for you. If I were you, I would do as much as I could to get started on the course material so you can have something to speak on in the halls. If anybody gives you feedback in the halls, be very open to listening to it. Do your best not to get into any back and forth with anyone about it. I don't see the value in that. So if you can just be calm and completely present and willing to hear and listen and absorb, and you make it very well known that you are absorbing those things and people can see change over time, then man, it would be hard not to take a guy like you under somebody's wing or to respect you in that way.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag Believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome. For 10 more amazing rules from Grant Cardone, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
When to buy something stupid, because there's going to come a time in life. Jay-Z just bought a $200 million house. Dude, he can do whatever he wants to do. He's worth $2.5 billion, okay? I don't know that it was the smartest thing to do, but he can do it. When do you do